Today we are introducing the divine law of attraction and the worldly law of attraction, and exposing the deception behind the worldly law of attraction. Welcome to another captivating episode of Divine Mystery Files, where we embark on a transformative journey to uncover the sacred truths and hidden mysteries of life. Here at Blooming Life, Mind and Spirit, our mission is to guide you toward a deeper understanding of the divine plan, a path that nurtures healing for your body, mind, and soul. Get ready to explore profound insights that not only illuminate ancient wisdom, but also inspire meaningful change. Stick with us until the end, as we unravel mysteries that will definitively reshape the way you see your life and purpose. In order to help you better understand the difference that exists between the misinterpreted version of the law of attraction and the original source, please first understand the definition of these two terms as follows. Divine law of attraction represents the original law in the Bible, whereas the worldly law of attraction represents the distorted version of the original law, which is what we currently know in our minds, introduced by Bob Proctor, and unfortunately insanely wrong and misleading. The vast majority has actually not understood the original meaning of this law, not even those who made this law public for the first time. Or perhaps they did, but deliberately twisted it. No one knows. Well, I guess this is another disclaimer, as I have no powers to see their hearts and determine their intentions. But we will see how worldliness actually takes a toll on human beings, as we interpret the original laws together. You are about to discover the real meaning of the law of attraction from the perspective of the divine law of attraction. Let's dive head on to discover the original source of the law of attraction. This is it right here. Proverbs 23 verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Let's now proceed with the explanation using the book that interprets itself. Notice that the information which was released to the whole world by the authors of The Secret represents only the first part of that proverb. The phrase after the colon punctuation mark was completely left out. Why? Because it contains the meaning of the first phrase. Let's break this down and see how worldliness kicks in, according to Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11, which states, Also he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God mocketh from the beginning to the end. Let's now proceed to break down the real meaning of the law of attraction, which I personally refer to as the divine law of attraction. For simplicity, we shall break down Proverbs 23 verse 7 into 4 separate parts. This is an important tip when studying the original version of the King James Bible. You should pay close attention to all punctuation marks. Here's the broken down version of Proverbs 23 verse 7. First part, for as he thinketh in his heart. Second part, so is he. Third part, eat and drink, saith he to thee. Fourth part, but his heart is not with thee. So this is the meaning of the scripture that was manipulated to create law of attraction. A man is defined by the intentions and thoughts of his heart, part 1 and 2, not necessarily by what he says, part 3. Because the intentions and thoughts of his heart might be completely different from what he says out loud. Part 4. If this section was fast, you can pause the video and listen to it again. It is very important. Do you actually see what is happening here? It is as simple as that. How often do people don't mean what they say, and say what they don't mean? This verse is warning you not to be deceived by words, because the intentions of the heart are primordial in the physical and spiritual realm, especially in the spiritual realm. More on this later, when we shall start to examine the 4 categories of human beings that coexist with each other on the planet today. So, this is what you have to retain here. The intentions of the heart define a man, not his words, because words can be very pretentious and totally different from what is actually in his heart. That's basically it. Let's shed more clarity to the importance of the thoughts you hold secretly in your heart. We can go further to explain this concept and add more meaning to it. The Bible interprets itself at every level. If you find the same concept repeating itself consistently all over the Bible, then know for a fact that you have surely understood it. Here is another verse in the Bible that explains this perfectly well. Matthew 15 verses 17 to 19. Verse 17. Do not ye yet understand, that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the draught? Verse 18. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. Verse 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. Amazing clarity added indeed. What are we talking about here? It is the state of your heart that determines whether or not you are a good person in the eyes of Yah, according to the divine laws of Yahweh, not what you say or do physically. So, a man is what he thinks in his heart. A man is defiled or polluted by what is in his heart. A man is judged by what is in his heart. A man is defined by what is in his heart. Yeshua says the things which come out of the mouth are those things which come out of the heart, and thus defile a man. This means when a man utters and does wicked things, the heart would have first pondered over it. And so long as a man is wicked in his heart, even though he pretends to do good deeds, he will be judged according to the thoughts of his heart. So a man is defined by his heart. Please stay with me. Don't get lost, 'cause I gotcha. In Proverbs 23 verse 7, we are being warned about how complicated matters can become. Even though the heart can be wicked and thinking evil thoughts, the words spoken out loud could be far different from what is going on in the heart. That notwithstanding, the state of the heart has the final say in the eyes of Yah. I hope you get the picture here. So at the end of the day, what defines a man are the intentions and thoughts of his heart. Let's check out some real-life examples that will make us understand better. First scenario. Physical action good, intention good. Perfect scenario. A man clothes and naked, and deep down in his heart, he is very happy he did it. Yah's validation of action. This man is a good man indeed because he doesn't regret what he is doing. His intention, that is, the thought of his heart, was to put a smile on the naked man's face without any strings attached. And he did just that. Second scenario. Physical action good, intention bad. A YouTuber films an act of kindness towards a poor person in the streets for the purpose of making it go viral on YouTube and making money. This is a perfect example of Proverbs 23 verse 7. He uploads a video on YouTube, and unfortunately, the video didn't get that much attention and didn't go viral as anticipated. He regretted the time and attention spent trying to help out. God's validation of action. The man is a wicked man indeed because the moment he decided to offer help on the street, his main intention, the thoughts of his heart, was to satisfy YouTube and most probably gain more subscribers and make more money, not necessarily to help out. Third scenario. Physical action bad, intention good. A man responds to a cry for help. A man is going about running his errands when he hears the screams of a little girl for help, coming right out of the neighboring forest. He carefully and sneakily follows the screams and comes across a horrific scene of abuse. There's just no way this little girl would have made it out alive without help. The man who sneaks in from behind quickly finds a weapon, and with just one swing against the abuser, he drops dead. Yah's validation of action. A very good person in the spiritual realm, because the intention of the responder was to save. And he did. Fourth scenario. Physical action bad, intention bad. A premeditated murder, assault, theft. Perfect example of Matthew 15 verse 17 to 19. This one does not need any explanation. Yah's validation of action. A very evil person in the spiritual world. This is what it all boils down to. Intentions and secret thoughts of the heart hold a final say, because these cannot be hidden from the maker of all the divine laws. I hope you now have a glimpse of how Yahweh x-rays every action that is put forth, and what is actually taking place here. I hope you also see what the divine law of attraction actually means. You are your secret intentions and thoughts, or you are defined by your secret intentions and thoughts, not by actions or words, since the latter can be very deceptive. You are what you think. As he thinketh, so is he. I cannot stress this hard enough. What Yahweh judges is what the eyes cannot see, not the physical action which the eyes can see. Because according to Yah, you are what is in your heart, not what you do or say, because acts can be very pretentious as clearly highlighted by the original law itself. And that is the fundamental source of controversy between the divine law of attraction and the worldly law of attraction. The interpretations have got absolutely nothing to do with each other. The worldly law of attraction states that as you think, you become what you think, whereas the real law actually meant that you are defined by your thoughts. Do you see the stark contrast? You should read the word of Yah for yourself to be exposed to undiluted truths. It's your only solution to prepare yourself for a blooming life, mind and spirit. When you align yourself, no principality on this planet will be able to infiltrate your blossoming spirit. Is it possible to reconcile the divine law of attraction with the worldly law of attraction? Let's see. What you are about to discover now is an elaboration of this original law and its reconciliation with other divine laws to give you a deeper meaning of this life. Yes, you will be able to finally understand why no matter the amount of positive energy you gather using all sorts of techniques, as recommended by the worldly law of attraction, nothing seems to work. The world law of attraction has manipulated the original law to include materialistic and worldly interests, which is way out of context here. Talking about Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 again. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God mocketh from the beginning to the end. See how quickly the original law has been simple renamed the law of attraction, and then used to mislead you away from the truth and back to the world, and brainwash you to believe that you should think of the worldly things and desires you need, that is cars, luxury items, money, career, etc., and they would manifest unfailingly. This is deception at its peak. The original law, the secret according to Yah, was trying to let us know that our validation by the Creator totally depends on the intentions of our hearts. Nothing to do with attracting wealth or anything. Are you starting to get the picture? That's how we will proceed to debunk the remainder of the worldly laws, which have all been distorted from their respective original sources in exactly the same manner. If we must understand the divine law of attraction as it really is and how it works, then we must return to the origins and start to retrain our minds, one original law at a time. After having understood the original law and its intended context, you must have noticed by now that it has absolutely nothing to do with using your imaginative thoughts to think of some material requests and making them to manifest. Where did that interpretation actually come from? How did we come about attracting wealth using Proverbs 23 verse 7? Let me answer your question. That interpretation comes from the worldly desires of human beings, who are desperate for worldly recognition, fame, you name it. No wonder billions of people marveled when the law of attraction was introduced for the first time, and I was no exception. No one can help those materialistic tendencies, except those earnestly seeking the truth. We have seen that Proverbs 23 verse 7 has absolutely nothing to do with wealth and prosperity. Visualization is not what you think it is. This hoax will equally be debunked in this series. I strongly recommend that you don't skip any episodes if you want to get your doubts cleared out about how this world actually operates once and for all. Prepare your life, mind, and spirit to bloom with the right power and in the right direction. What does it actually take to succeed? A completely different path is recommended if you want increases in material possessions, which has got absolutely nothing to do with your thoughts. Believe you me, this finding is incredible and one you should definitely not take for granted. The power of thoughts has been overrated and blown out of proportion. There are certain divine rules which you must live by that are responsible for empowering very selective thoughts of yours. It means, firstly, that not all your thoughts have power to manifest, and secondly, that you might be thinking of and expecting one thing, but something else comes because you have no power over your thoughts, but certain divine rules do. We'll talk more about this later on the series. So if you understand nothing yet, please just relax. We gotcha! I know this is all new, so you are welcome to the secret according to Yahweh. We have been living in deception for all this time. Here at Blooming Life, Mind and Spirit, we will help you to make the right moves to retrain your mind with truths. Thank Yah. None of this is my personal opinion. So how does the divine law of attraction operate? Here is a sneak peek. The divine law of attraction starts from the physical realm. That is, first obey the divine rules, and not the spiritual. It is what you do in the physical that empowers your selective thoughts. The concept of intentionally remaining positive is literally a strong delusion. Seriously, how consistently can you remain positive in such a miserable world? It doesn't matter the advanced techniques you implement to think and attract. It's all delusional if you are not physically obeying certain divine rules, which are applicable to all humans on Earth. Like I said before, it's okay if you don't get it now at this stage of the series. These are some of the concepts I'm introducing well in advance, so that by the time you get to the relevant episode, you will start linking the dots without much thought. So what does it take to succeed? The rules I've mentioned above are primordial if you want the divine law of attraction to work in your favor. You will also discover that when it comes to the divine law of attraction, it works in very unconventional and unpopular ways. Because like I said earlier, what triggers anything to move in the spiritual realm is whether or not you are living in obedience of the rules you will discover, not whether you have the ability to wish for good things. I hope you see the difference. Never mind if you don't get it now, because you don't need this knowledge at the moment to understand everything that follows. Before we dive into discussing the various categories that intervene when it comes to the divine law of attraction, we will first of all take a closer look at the worldly law of attraction and shed more light on what we have been led to understand with regards to how it operates. A law which I personally describe as a curse upon the curse of ignorance and lack of knowledge. Everything concerning the worldly law of attraction is an abomination. Spoiler alert. The divine law of attraction is incredibly biased for excellent reasons, which you will discover subsequently. If you are interested to learn more, then watch out for the next episode. In order to be notified about when our next upload is available, like this video, subscribe and hit the all notifications bell so that you will be immediately informed by YouTube when any of our uploads are available. Thanks for watching and see you on the next upload.